Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Gamer, and today we are going through 5 ways to improve my career in WWE 2K19. Superstar voiceovers. Everybody knows that WWE games have been lacking in voiceovers for the last few years. The reason for this? Generally, 2K want you to be able to play the game your own way. They give you the option of reading the text, and they leave it up to your own interpretation of how you think your character should sound. Really, I would prefer to be able to hear my character's voice. Now, it doesn't mean that they need hundreds of different voiceovers and different accents and different levels and pitches and anything like that. What they really need is just 5 solid, different voices that you can pick. Any one of those 5 will probably do for most people to play through in MyCareer, and I personally would prefer to be able to hear my character's voice rather than just reading the text off a screen. I lose the immersion in that way. Able to play as other WWE superstars. I don't know about you, but EA seem to have really hit the nail on the head with their UFC games for the last few years, giving you the ability to play as any of their EA UFC superstars. You can start at the beginning of their career and fight your way up to the upper echelons of the card into the main event. Now really, a mode like this for WWE 2K games has been missing for a little while. We've had things like season mode before, where you've been able to play through certain storylines for other WWE characters, but to be able to play as a character in a sort of season mode or a career mode would really open things up. I'm not saying they have to carve out an individual story for every single character, but if I was to personally be able to take someone like Pete Dunne, Adam Cole, Rey Mysterio, Triple H, I was able to take Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, or anyone like that through a MyCareer mode and play as them, it may open up a lot more avenues for playthroughs again, because let's face it, if you get it right with branching storylines, there's a lot of different ways that you could end up playing this game. More cutscenes. Let's be honest here, guys. Career mode really was lacking in things like cutscenes and ways to make the game more interesting. Once you'd gotten past a certain point, it was literally just matches over and over and over again, and in order to spice it up, you had to really go and play as a single player in universe mode, but playing through as if you were just playing that character in like a MyCareer. This is really sad to actually happen. It shouldn't be happening in a game like WWE 2K. In fact, the MyCareer mode really should be sucking you in from day one and should be your go-to game over and over again, but it's not. There's something lacking there, and from what I can see, it's generally because there's nothing to go back to. The cutscenes aren't there to develop any stories, there's just repetitive cutscenes over and over again. It seems like it's incredibly repetitive. Now, for the amount of storylines that WWE has had over the years, you'd think there'd be a lot of inspiration for WWE 2K to draw from, especially with everything that has happened. There are so many different ways that they can make this more interesting. I think honestly, if they're going to be doing something, they really have to go back to branching storylines, or at least give you the option to choose what championship you want to go for. Why not be able to play as a cruiserweight and end up going for the cruiserweight championship? Why not being able to pull in through a tournament? Why not being able to do something around the Royal Rumble where you're having to earn your spot? I am really looking forward to seeing if they do something different with it this year, but we can only hope at this point. Putting the Performance Center to good use. Now let's be honest, guys, our time in the Performance Center was very short this year in WWE 2K18, but if there's one thing that I quite like about the UFC series, it's the fact that you constantly go back and train before your matches. You're always in boot camps, you're always doing something to try and get better. Now, I'm not a fan of loot crates, that is completely obvious, but what I am a fan of is earning certain movesets and certain moves and different ways of actually unlocking them. And one thing that I would quite like to see is going back to the Performance Center. The Performance Center is featured very frequently in WWE now. The best superstars go there and train when they're starting off in NXT, and if this is where you're going to start in WWE 2K19 MyCareer once again, I believe you should have the ability to come back here to train, to earn those moves, to earn those extra bits of stamina, to earn those extra power moves. You know, just being able to use the equipment in there to actually boost up your character's stats. You have to practice, you have to run promos, and that should be the way that you be able to level up your superstar, actually training them like they would an athlete, just like you'd have to in basketball, just like you'd have to in UFC. There should be an opportunity there that you would treat it like any other athlete in a professional sport, and you should have to train rather than unlocking with loot crates and just powering up little bits at a time through winning matches. It doesn't seem like it's a good way to do things for me, but this way, being able to train in and out, day in, day out, and actually being able to use those to your benefit, it seems to me like this would probably be a better way of doing things. But you guys can feel free to disagree with me in the comments down below. Women's MyCareer. Now, this isn't the first time I've touched upon this. I actually asked for this in WWE 2K18 last year, but it seems like that request was obviously denied, and it was looked at apparently. So maybe, just maybe, we'll get it this year and there'll be an opportunity for a women's MyCareer, because let's face it, the girls do want to play this game as well, and they don't always want to play as guys. We have people out there like Revolution, who's very active on Twitter, who went ahead and recreated her own custom superstar as a man, but made her the most beautiful man you have probably ever seen in the game, just in order to get to play as her character in the MyCareer mode. Now, this is a shame that she's had to go to these lengths just to get some more longevity out of the game, and I appreciate her efforts, but hopefully this year WWE 2K can reward the female gamers with a female MyCareer of their own. It's not like the women's revolution hasn't deemed it necessary now anyway. This is center point for the game, and it may even be the front cover of the game. I could personally see, if they do a women's MyCareer mode this year, a female on the front of WWE 2K, or at least the option of ordering one or the other. Guys, that was my 5 ways to fix WWE 2K19 MyCareer mode and improve it for the longevity of the game. I mean, honestly, we all know that it doesn't last as long as we want it to, and sometimes it can be incredibly painstaking, but hopefully with these 5 little improvements, we might find some more longevity in the game, and we may be able to play it for even longer this year. I don't know about you, but I am super psyched to find out and see what's going on. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at VikingSizeGamer. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you fancy, you can become a Patreon as well. Go to patreon.com/VikingSizeGamer, and don't forget to buy my merch.